Rob, how did you go into the second leg?
Try and be the best version of the team that finished third in the league this year. That's it. We want to attack the game. We know we have to win it to stand any chance of going through. So it's pretty easy for us. So yeah, our task is very similar to a normal league game. We want to try and attack it and win every game. Obviously now this is a bit of a final, if you like, because there's something at the end of it.
So it's a lot more simple. You've only got the one scenario.
Yeah, I think going into the semi-final, it was a case of, again, we wanted to win it. We wanted to be in the best position possible, but at the same time, coming away from the Stadium of Light, you want to be in the tie, and we're in the tie.
It was disappointing in the second half display. Can you put your finger on why?
We didn't keep the ball well enough, and we weren't quite as aggressive as we normally are. So we were a little bit more mid-press, if you like, rather than and high. And then a lot of our transitions were poor. We gave the ball back too quickly, too cheaply. So that was the main reason why. In saying that, and we could be a lot better in the second half. You know, they scored the goal from a short corner routine. They didn't open us up for all the really good players that they've got. They didn't create many chances or any chances really from open play. So that'll give us a lot of belief as well.
In terms of the occasion tomorrow night, how are you going to make sure your players just play the game rather than get swept away in what's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere at Kenilworth Road?
I'm not sure. Is there anything wrong with getting swept away with an unbelievable atmosphere and occasion? Why not? Let's let it carry us and help us. So we've got to use that. And so we want the crowd to be wild, and we want the crowd to be right at it. And you know, theirs was on the weekend. It was a brilliant atmosphere. I'm not sure. I know they're fans. I know they have a lot of fans, and I know they turn out in their numbers. But I'm not sure how good it's been. If it's been that good for a long time. But we've got to make it really, really difficult for them. We need the crowd to play their part in that as well. We want to then make sure we play our part and give our fans something to shout about.
Just a couple more from me. First of all, have you been practicing penalties?
Yeah, we're probably able to get a bit of a head start on a couple of other teams in this area. So we've looked into that over the last couple of weeks.
And have you done it by using the staff you have in the building, or have you been using other players to come in and give maybe the goalkeepers so they don't know what the way? So Carlton Morris takes penalty, or if you know a player you've got takes penalty, the goalkeepers might know how they're going to go. I mean, have you been giving Ethan a bit more experience by maybe having other players within the youth ranks maybe, or coming in and taking penalties? Yeah,
we've used the youth team, we've used our own players, we've tried different ways of doing it, and we'll see. If it gets to that point, then we'll see. Hopefully the work that we've done will be relevant then.
And finally, Notts County on Saturday, they brought their goalkeeper off to bring on a specialist penalty taker. Have you got that in your mind as well?
Not at the moment, but I don't want to give too much away, Moose. Thanks, pal.
How are the bodies? It's a quick turnaround, isn't it? I see the cryotherapy chambers being used as well.
Yeah, the bodies are good. We probably had a really, really tough. Even though we get to play at home second leg, it's a tough programme really for us. We have to travel up to Sunderland, play a really difficult game, and obviously get back. And there's a quick turnaround in the Championship games. It's a bit different in some of the other leagues. So that is a challenge for us. But the boys are in good shape. We've done everything we can in terms of recovery, good food, good rest, like you say, cryo, hydro stuff, and hopefully we're raring to go.
No new injuries?
No, we're good.
And just picking up on the atmosphere, you've got this second leg, Kenilworth Road. We know it can be really, really hostile. Can that help you? Is that a big advantage?
I hope so. Generally, playing at home helps the team. The home team. Sunderland have been very good away from home this season, as we have. But it's a one-off game now, and we know what we've got to do. We want to try and use everything to help us get over the line.
Do you want the fans to make it particularly hostile?
I'm not saying hostile, but make it as loud as possible, and do what they do great. I mean, we've had the best atmosphere at home this year for us was obviously the Watford game, and where they were incredible. And if we can take it up a notch or two from that, then it'll be pretty special.
You were on a 14-game unbeaten run. You tasted defeat. Has it affected confidence, morale at all?
No, I don't think so. And I realise that over 90 minutes we lost the game, but I still see it as half time in a tie. It's a tie overall, so that's the way we're going to look at it and view it. Half time now, we're down. We've got to find a way to get back in it.
Are you concerned at all by the second half performance?
No, I'm not. It's not like us, but I was really pleased with the first half. To go up there and with their noise and everything, to go 1-0 up and quieten them and then control a lot of the first half, that gives us a lot of encouragement. We know the areas and we've gone through it where we can be better and where we need to be better, where we think we can hurt them, and that's what we'll look to try and do. You
mentioned it's knockout now, it's like a winner takes all, effectively. How are the players handling that pressure and how do you help them handle it?
To be calm, to be ourselves, to do what we've done all season long and try and be good at what we do. The message hasn't changed from us. It's to go and enjoy it, try and enjoy it and embrace it, attack it, be brave. Those are the sort of words and phrases that we use, and that'll never change while I'm here as manager. Just because this is now a bigger game, that doesn't change.
I think some of the fans are looking at the playoff hoodoo, the playoff record of this club. The fact you've never gone up through the playoffs, does that mean anything?
No, that is a thing, but it doesn't mean anything here and now. What's happened in the past doesn't affect what happens now.
The current players don't hold those scars?
I've not heard anyone mention it, to be honest, apart from maybe in the press, so I don't see anything from us or the players at all. We've not spoken about it or mentioned it at all.
And just picking up on the penalties, you've been working on penalties then, you've been practicing, you said, for a few weeks in preparation for this scenario?
Yeah, of course. There's obviously a chance that it could go to penalties, so I think it'd be silly of us not to talk about it, look at it, the process of the whole thing as well, from the final whistle all the way through to the final penalty kick.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rob, a couple of players. Carlton Morris took a massive whack to the knee in the penalty box. Is that a dead leg or is that solvable?
He's feeling good today. Yeah, he is. It was a dead leg, but he's had early recovery. He's already been in the pool this morning and then trained, so he's fine.
And Alfie Doughty, was that just cramp or was that muscle?
Yeah, he was cramping up, so Alfie's fine as well.
I just wondered, the pitch there and the pitch at Kenilworth Road seems tighter. Do you think that's going to play into your hands, and how much of a big difference can that make?
It changes the game slightly because obviously the distances aren't as big, but there's still enough room there for them to try and play their game, and so it's just a little bit of distance. But we're used to playing there, so it should suit us a little bit more.
On Saturday, Morris and Adebayo were towering over there, 3 centre halves. Do you need to get that ball up to them a bit quicker?
It's something that we've spoken about. We spoke about this after a game that if you just go direct, especially on a big pitch, then you can open up spaces for their good players. Because you're not going to win everything. They're going to win some second balls, and you open up the pitch too much. So I thought we did it really, really well first half. Second half, we were not as good with the ball. If it did go in, it didn't really stick as much. So we know a few areas that we can improve in, but just because they're not quite as big doesn't mean they're not physical. They give as good as they get. They do. That's why they are where they are. They're good players, but they're physical. And I think everyone's playing on the fact that because we got a few tall players that it should be easy to just lump it up and win every header. It's not the case. They're physical in their own way. They're strong. You can use any number of world-class players that everyone knows, that you will see that you don't have to be big to be physical. You can be quick, you can be dynamic, you can be strong. And they've got all of those attributes, as well as being technically very good.
When the two teams were set up, their wing-backs probably won the battle over your wing-backs. Do you think it's going to be different at Luton when you're the home side and you're on a smaller pitch?
We'll see. It gives our lads a little bit less space. If you try and switch it or get it out, there's generally someone directly up against them. So it'll be something that we want every individual to try and come out on top in their own battles against their direct opponent. But it's difficult. Jack Clark and Patrick Roberts are as good as any players in the league. They are. But we're pretty confident that we've got some good players as well. But obviously it'll be down to us to try and make sure that we win those individual duels.
You haven't lost too many midfield battles this season, but they were good in there.
Did we win any battles, Jeff, according to you? We've gone through the front, the wing-backs, and now the midfield. I'll make sure the lads don't listen to you before we go out there. Go on, mate. Sorry.
So what about Kenilworth Road then? Because Tony Mowbray's described it as scary. Is that something that you would kind of recognise?
Well, I think like we just talked about there, I think the atmosphere was amazing for the Watford game. If we can almost use that as a bit of a model, and if we can again notch it up a little bit more again, I think that would be what I would like and what we would need as well. I think that was a great advert for how the Kenny is when it's at its best.